So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eddie and the Heel show.
Eddie and the Heel.
Yeah, this is my co-host, Jay the Heel.
Jay the Heel!
The coolest co-host ever.
I am the coolest ever.
We are going to talk about Monday Night Raw, Saturday Night's main event, and Smackdown.
You ready for that, man?
Yeah.
You need to speak up too, man.
Yeah.
We got it going on.
Yes.
It's Tuesday. We had a great Monday Night Raw. An underwhelming Saturday night's main event.
True.
And a strong Smackdown to lead into Saturday night main event. I gotta say, Eddie, before we get into it, we had this conversation. Very underwhelmed about Saturday night main event. Something that should have been spectacular because the return of Saturday night main event.
Yeah.
But you also something else is the return of the blue mask this week.
Yes.
And we all know that I am the new blue meanie, Jay the Heel.
We're the new blue blazer of Owen Hart.
I'm the blue blazer of Owen Hart. So, Monday. Let's go back to Saturday. Let's go back to SmackDown because obviously that's going to lead into Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
We had the return of Jimmy Uso, who led off Friday Night SmackDown.
Yes.
It's good to see Jimmy back on his feet, even if he has a big toe. Mm-hmm. Poor Jimmy. Interesting. You know, we're thinking about this transfer portal. And when Jimmy came on, I was thinking about how lonely Jimmy must be. And, Jay and Sammy being over there and over at Monday Night Raw. And obviously, Roman Reigns comes whenever he chooses to be there. But it's good to see Jimmy back. Jimmy talking about possibly his goals for the new year. Maybe some U.S. title aspirations.
The Royal Rumble aspiration.
Royal Rumble. Maybe some
WWE Undisputed Championship.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk with Jimmy Uso on what he wants to do. What are his plans for 2025? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Could it be win the Royal Rumble? Could it be the World Heavyweight Championship? He even put out there the U.S. Championship. Any championship he could go after. Who knows?
Yeah.
Is he going to win the Royal Rumble this year, or is somebody else going to win it? We don't know.
And what is the future with Jimmy and SmackDown? Will he remain in SmackDown with the transfer portal? Will he be moving to Monday Night Raw to hang out with his brother? Will Jay come to SmackDown, or will Jimmy go to Raw? That's a big question. Will they reunite?
That would be cool to have the Usos back together. Because they're actually a cool tag team.
Of course they are. I mean, they're brothers, you know. Lots of questions. Lots of
what ifs.
What ifs? What is going to happen? So, very interesting first match. Tiffany Stratton versus Mitchin. Which, obviously, the winner would move on to Saturday night's main event for the new Women's U.S. title. Really good match. Well, you know what? I'm just taking up all the airtime here.
Seeing Tiffany and Michin go at it for the U.S. title match was a very great, high-flying intensity match between both of them because they both hit their moves extremely well. They both did good. But we all know the winner of that match was Michin, of course. She advanced into the U.S. tournament, which led into the Saturday night's main event, the finals.
Yeah. But the victory being very interesting, leading up to the drama that were to ensue with Nia Jax, and I can't remember who it was that they were kind of hounding Tiffany Stratton for her loss because, you know...
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae. Thank you very much. This is why I got this man, because I can't remember half everybody's name. So, very interesting segment there with Tiffany and Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. Obviously, Nia Jax being the women's champion. It seemed a little interesting there. Huh? What did you think about that little segment there?
It was. I see there's going to be cracks forming between Nia and Tiffany.
Yeah.
And apparently, they want Candice and Nia to go for the women's tag team titles, which is very interesting that Candice put that out there, because she basically threw in Tiffany's face, "Screw you.
Yeah.
We don't like you."
Well.
Basically,
yeah. Definitely could see the cracks, but you could also see that look in Tiffany's eye after she felt, disrespected by Nia and Candice. So we have Money in the Bank option for Tiffany. I am waiting for Tiffany to just snap, basically. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. She is going to snap.
I wouldn't be surprised if she snapped this Friday. I would not be shocked.
Yeah.
Because we see it coming.
We do see it coming.
She wants to break out.
Yeah.
WWE needs her to break out. You need to put her out there and let her break out as a superstar.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, we did kind of see like a little hint when it was that Survivor Series, what's it called? War Games, right? That match with the ladies, you could see there was a slight hesitation of Tiffany to use that Money in the Bank opportunity. And I think it's going to happen very soon. I think the embarrassment that Nia and Candice put out there on nationwide television on Smackdown, embarrassing Tiffany, it's going to go down. And I think...
it's going to happen this Friday.
I think someone is making a big mistake. So, very interesting. Really good storyline. Enjoyed that one with the ladies. So, the continuation of this Roman and Solo
segment.
Yeah, this saga, the January 6th was Netflix.
Yes.
Battle for the
Ula Fala.
Ula ala Fala hala.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
So
that red necklace thingamabobber.
Yes.
That I don't know why.
January 6th. Who will be crowned the king? Who will wear the Ula Fala? Who will be the true tribal chief? Question is, will they let this go? If Solo wins, will Roman kneel to him? If Roman wins, will Solo bow down to Roman? These are the big questions.
These are the big questions. But the other thing is, there could be interference from the new bloodline. There could be interference from the Tonga twins and Jacob Fatu. Because this ain't just going to be a normal match. I can already see where this is going to head. It's going to turn into a match that nobody's really going to like. And it's going to turn into interference.
It is. I can't help but think this, though.
It's a dumb match.
Well, it has to be done. We have to have some finality in it. I mean, unless we're going to keep the bloodlines separate, one on SmackDown, one on Raw. I mean, really, if you really want to kind of... this is my opinion. If you want to balance these things out, and there's not going to be any kind of resolution, why don't we just have a Bloodline SmackDown, Bloodline Raw? Or are they going to keep this transfer portal open? What is going to happen? Are we going to have some finality to this? We will see. But, it is getting old.
Yeah.
How long is Fatu going to stay with Solo? How long is Roman going to retain the Uso brothers? You know, he comes on the show when he wants to, while these other guys are doing regular, regular appearances. So we just need some answers. We will find out. Netflix coming January 6th. WWE on Netflix. I'm looking forward to that.
They
How about
already
you?
revealed the cover.
Yeah.
Triple H did.
Yeah.
The other night.
So, finally get a match going here. Carmelo Hayes
versus Braun Strowman.
To his surprise, because Carmelo Hayes did not know who he was going to be facing. And Carmelo Hayes thinking coming out here like, yeah, I'm the man. I'm going to just take down anybody that they put in front of me. And to his surprise, and you could see it in his eyes when he was in the ring, big Braun Strowman returns. And we just talked to us. I don't remember seeing him since him and big man. Bronson Reed. We're going at it. This is the first time I've seen Braun Strowman. I don't remember seeing him many times. So excited to see the big man back. Just basically dominated the match. Carmelo Hayes definitely was not ready.
Carmelo thought he was going to face somebody like an AEW star that's been rumored to be coming to the main roster.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to fill us in a little about that? What are you talking about here?
Well, there's a certain AEW star that's a luchador. A lucha brother, let's put it that way. He's supposed to be coming to the main roster. There was teases of him on Raw. There was not a tease for him on Smackdown.
Well, more to you. So, let's get to this. Solo back in action. LA Knight. Interesting. What's this about? What's this what is LA Knight trying to, I know LA Knight was embarrassed.
I don't know where he's trying to go with all this.
What is going on with LA Knight?
I mean, ever since he lost his U.S. title, it just feels like LA Knight's been going downhill, doesn't know what to do, wants the U.S. title back, can't really get it back because Shinsuke Nakamura's got it, and then Shinsuke Nakamura has all this crap to say about him, and it's just like, LA Knight's going downhill, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely being humbled right now. Hopefully it's a experience for him to have that thirst and desire. Taking on Solo Sikoa. LA Knight picking up the victory via disqualification, which we kind of knew was going to happen.
The Tonga twins have to interfere, and so does Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. Well, you knew Fatu was going to be the enforcer, and you knew exactly what was going to happen. Solo coming out on top, losing, but obviously winning the war with his big finisher. And obviously the Bloodline helping out Solo and just taking out LA Knight. He has been taking a beating from the Bloodline, taking a beating from Shinsuke Nakamura. So poor LA Knight. But
didn't he have interference though? Because I swear he had interference that night, but I don't know if he had people backing him up or not.
Yeah, he did, and I can't remember.
I forget who they were, but I know he had people backing him up and coming in and have his back.
Yes. Our bad on that one. Regardless, LA Knight still picking up the victory with the disqualification, with the interference. Moving on, we have another U.S. title tournament. We had Chelsea Green versus Bayley. What do you think about that one?
I had a feeling I wanted Bayley to win, but obviously Chelsea with her husband, who used to be in a certain wrestling company called WWE back in the day, and with her, Chelsea Green, supposedly she brought out the story of being fired and then returning. she actually got the victory and moved on to the Women's United States Championship Finals.
Yes. Yes. So Chelsea Green picking up the victory to move on to Saturday night's main event for the Women's U.S. title. Ending off SmackDown was, we'll get through this really quick because we want to get to Saturday night's main event. We had more of the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens drama. Yap, back and forth. One in the car, one in the stage. The really same old thing between these two. Let's just get right into Saturday night's main event because that will kind of give us more information on the continuing drama between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Saturday night's main event. Underwhelming, yet good matches. I will concede to that. Good matches, but underwhelming for something that WWE is bringing back since 2018.
Yeah.
You would think that would be a spectacular night, yet left me and my man, Eddie Rocks, a little underwhelmed. It was still cool to see some of the former stars, legends. I was awesome to see Jimmy Hart. It was cool to see Greg the Hammer Valentine. Coco Beware.
Ted DiBiase was actually supposed to be there, but it canceled at the last minute.
There was rumors of Hulk Hogan supposed to be there. None of that happened. But
the body Jesse Ventura was there.
Yes. We did have the return of Jesse the Body Ventura. We had the return of Pat McAfee.
Yes.
To co-host with Michael Cole.
Yes.
So, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. First matchup, Drew McIntyre returns into action. Sami Zayn.
And it felt like that felt like a quick match.
Yeah.
Because, Sami couldn't really get any offense in. A lot of people were like, oh, he couldn't really get offense in. Yeah, he couldn't. Because Drew just beat him in 3 seconds and we're looking like...
Just dominated.
Okay, why? Yeah. You're not going to let Sami get shots in on you and you're just going to beat him that?
Yeah, it was a very one-sided match. I mean, listen.
And then, of course, you got the bloodline. That whole bloodline situation with Drew McIntyre and them is really starting to get annoying. Yeah. It's like, where are you trying to do this? Drew, can you just move on from the bloodline? You don't have issues with them. Move on. Whatever they did to you in the past, move on and find other challenger to face.
It is an interesting... See, this is the thing we talk about. Because we see this, where is the why in this with Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre is a dominant force. Listen, the guy handily disposed of Sami Zayn. But where is this all stemming from? And everybody's had issues with everybody else through time. What is the end game here with Drew McIntyre? And we obviously see some kind of connection between him and Seth Rollins. But I think we'll talk a little more about that when we talk about Raw. Very interesting. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, destroying Sami Zayn. And that's it. That was it.
In a matter of 3 seconds, it was
very quick.
And over with.
So.
And only 5 matches on the card.
Very uninteresting. Like I said, it was obviously it wasn't a great match overall. For Sami wasn't involved, but overall, very dominant performance. So cool, whatever. Just surprised that there was nothing else. There was no more involvement. Just not as interesting as it could have been. But way to go for Drew McIntyre. Let's go on to the ladies. Fighting for the women's title.
Yeah.
Women's...
Liv versus Io Sky.
Yeah.
Was a great hard-hitting match.
Listen to this. Tell me what you think about this. Very much like the Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Io basically handedly was beating Liv Morgan the entire match. She just was wiping the mat with Liv Morgan, which was infuriating to me that at the end, as Liv Morgan retained her title, which, yes, for her it is a great thing. She wins with one mistake, a boot to the face.
Which busted her open.
Yeah. And like, just, it is almost lazy to me to watch Io dominate the entire match, mess up one thing, Liv winning, capitalizing on one mistake after getting beat for whatever it was, 10 minutes, and just fall into basically the victory. I just, it was kind of infuriating to me. Obviously, I love my Jersey girl, Liv Morgan. But to me, lazy writing. It was just not as interesting. And at the end, we're going to get to one of the biggest issues of the whole night. All right.
Sky, Liv Morgan there.
Yes.
That was a great 100% match.
Yeah.
And like, that botch or whatever it was, those misses they were having, it's just like, you basically let Liv Morgan capitalize on your mistake, basically.
And she even messed up her finishing move at the end to win the match. Did you watch? Like, it was just a sloppy finishing move.
It's kind of weird how they go about it before the show. They practice it, but then it's like, you practice it and then you can't execute it when you're in the ring.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like, you practice something so much that you can't execute the same thing you just practiced an hour earlier before the show even started, anybody in the arena, and you can't execute it during the match? Yeah. For real?
Well, listen, the point is, it was a very one-sided match, just like the Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn match. And, of course, at the end, Rhea's got to confront Liv. I don't know how long we're going to keep going on with this storyline with Rhea and Liv. I'm assuming eventually Rhea's going... I mean, is Rhea going to come back? But before I continue anything, we'll talk more about that with Raw, because that will be continued with Raw. 3-way match for the heavyweight champion of the world, Gunther, the champion, taking on Finn Balor and Damian Priest. What did you think about that one?
Well, there was kind of a botch in that whole thing, that apparently Finn almost beat Gunther because Damian screwed up something, of course. He missed something.
I think it was one. The ref had to actually kind of like not hit the 3 because Gunther's back was still on the mat. Damian coming in the last minute, but still, it was still late. And the ref just didn't count the 3. He could have hit that 3 because Gunther's shoulders were still pinned. So, slightly messy. Gunther picking up the victory, retaining his championship.
And another mistake with Priest and Gunther by the ring steps, because apparently Damian hit got his leg caught in the steel step.
Yeah. And
Gunther had to improvise and find a way where he can pick him up safely.
Yeah.
So he could just land on his back. Because that was the other thing. That was the other issue. So there was 2 missed opportunities between Damian Priest that missed both botches and could have executed them both fine, but he missed it.
Yeah. Yep. And we had to wrap it up, we had Chelsea Green versus Michin for the U.S. title. Another good match, but with Chelsea Green being the new women's U.S. title. What did you think of that match?
That was great. I would have liked to see Michin win it, honestly. But you know what? I feel bad for Michin because it feels like WWE's doing a lot of things with these people that they're just, I don't know, that they're, I don't know. I mean, I wish WWE would do something for Michin because it feels like she's not getting the momentum she really needs.
I think that they're trying to figure out where all the ladies are fitting. There is an abundance of women. There's
more abundance of women. So now, with the tag team titles that are now still there, you should be able to have more tag team women because you're adding more women to the roster now, obviously.
Yeah. Yep. So, and to finish out the evening, Cody Rhodes, the undisputed champion, versus Kevin Owens. Finally, they get to come together, and
we saw the return. Everybody's been complaining. Everybody's wanted to see this certain title that has not been around since a while. Was the return of the Winged Eagle Championship. Cody Rhodes brought the championship out. And it was cool to see it. Not to see the big one with the W in the middle. That's how belts should be made. That's how they should look. Not with a W in the middle. Just saying.
Well, whatever you like there, buddy. What did you think of that match?
That was great overall. But that was a great match, honestly. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, awesome. But I don't know if anybody's seen, but off camera,
After the match,
before
you even say it, brother. Again, going back before we even get to this, before we end off with the finally, that was so frustrated. No drama. No surprises. No title changes. Liv Morgan retains her title. Gunther retains his title. This triumphant return. And the most annoying thing about the entire night was every match, as soon as the match starts, it goes to commercial. Could have been between matches. As soon as the match starts, boom, right to a commercial. It's like the whole night was just commercials. I was getting so annoyed. Oh, hey, the match is about to start. You might as well go get some food because now the commercial is going to happen. So that was probably the most annoying thing about the return of the spectacular Saturday Night Live. No heel turns. No title changes. No storyline. No drama. Then to finish off, the Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, with Cody retaining his title. So no title changes at all. No drama, no storyline, nothing. Then to have, after the show is over, for the actual drama to begin. Fill him in on the drama there, Eddie.
The drama with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens towards the end of the match. And then there was more drama on top of it. You had Triple H and Kevin Owens going at it.
Well, tell them what they did, what Kevin Owens did before you get to Triple H.
Kevin Owens, towards the end, power bombed Cody Rhodes on the head.
That was pile driver.
Pile driver.
Yes.
On the head.
Yeah.
After
just like with Randy Owens. It was actually I think he called it something different kind of a pile driver. It was compacted. It was a compacted pile driver.
He used it in, I guess it was Ring of Honor.
So the same thing that basically he took out Randy Orton with, he did again.
With Cody Rhodes.
This was after the show was over. Nobody got to see it.
The fans did.
The fans got to see it, but obviously us watching, tuning in to a commercial-ridden, undramatic, underwhelming Saturday night's main event, and then after the show goes off, then you decide to throw in Kevin Owens taking out Cody as he's speaking and holding up his championship. Then after that, going down the aisle, going back to the locker room to be confronted by Triple H with a shoving match. Where was this? You couldn't have done any of this for your fans across the world to see. Nationwide. Worldwide. Everybody was waiting for the Saturday night's main event. WWE, you messed it up.
This is what you left us with.
You left us with this boring, underwhelming storyline. Just nothing. Part of wrestling is not just the wrestling; it's the drama, it's the story, it's the pop. And you left us with wrestling matches, and that's fine, but just underwhelming. I'm not gonna give you 5 stars for this ride.
Yeah. And then you're gonna go into Netflix with the same storylines, no heel turns, no anything.
Yeah. So just disappointed that you did not bring the full experience of professional wrestling to such a dramatic return of Saturday night's main event. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Monday Night Raw last night. I'm a little confused on this one. It was good. I was confused. Opening up with CM Punk. Basically trying to bait Seth Rollins to come to the ring. He was just throwing it out there. What do I need to do to get that stupid music to play? Come out here in your high heels and your funky dress, trying to beat him to come out. And finally, we have Seth Rollins coming out into the crowd. And it was actually a fun opener.
It wasn't boring at all.
Yeah, it wasn't boring. So Raw was not bad, but I was just confused by things that I will talk about as we go through this. So it was a good segment, Seth Rollins and CM Punk. This is an ongoing thing, obviously. What do you think, Ed?
This actually stems from AEW's whatever issues, because since CM Punk badmouthed WWE when he left for AEW, that's where all this drama is coming from. It's coming from a personal standpoint. It's not coming from a I want to fight you standpoint. And you can
personal.
Yeah, it's personal.
Yeah.
You can see it in Seth Rollins' eyes that it's a personal feud. It's not a feud it's not a normal feud that anybody would predict. It's a feud that's based on you bashed the company when you left. You talked all this crap about the company and said stuff about Vince McMahon and all that. And that's where all this hatred's coming from. And then you decide to come back and beat and kiss the company and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say all the crap I said about you. That's where all this is coming from.
Yeah. Thank you for enlightening me on that. Because, obviously, this is the genius of the WWE world. Because I would not have half the information if it wasn't from a man. Eddie Rocks. Because Jay the Heel cannot be who he is without Eddie Rocks over here. Nope. Aren't you a little arrogant?
I'm not being arrogant, Danny. I'm just, I don't know, spitting the truth here. I don't know.
So, what confused me about this Monday Night Raw is when after me and Eddie started hanging out today, we talked about Wasn't it funny? There was only 3 matches. 2 hours of Monday Night Raw, 3 matches the entire night. Very confusing. To give you an example of wasted time, we did have the interesting segment of the New Day spending most of Monday Night Raw trying to find a place to go and to get changed. Because the representative of the locker room, Rey Mysterio, wouldn't even let poor New Day, Xavier, and Kofi couldn't even get changed. So, was that the reason that we only had 3 matches? Is because
they're so obsessed with this New Day crap drama, whatever the hell you
get
call
over it, WWE stars. Let the New Day do their thing. I think it was a complete waste of time. Yet, it was a little funny. So, that's why I'm a little confused about the night. I just kind of... I think the time that it took for them to go through the night...
matches in that segment.
They could have had, yes. I mean, they could have wrestled the New Day. It would have been nice to see them wrestle instead of listening to them whine and listening to all these other guys deny them any space.
And plus, Big E's not going to be able to come back anyway. So, like, that was kind of a...
Yeah.
I
wanted to see them wrestle. I want to see the New Day, the new invigorated...
Here's the question. If the New Day, with the New Day, would they change their theme song? So like,
well, that's the thing. Like, hey, let's go already. Like, that's what I want to see. Like, I'm excited for the New Day. I'm excited to see that Kofi and Xavier, that were at odds, are now back to this, regardless if they did a heel turn. I want to see them wrestle. I don't want to see this, oh, you can't come into the locker room because I'm Rey Mysterio and I'm the man and I'm the legend. And like, you should have just kicked Rey Mysterio through the door and just spoke your piece, Kofi and Xavier.
And then, yeah, it's just weird. It's just like, those are 2 segments that have had that. The week before with Cody Rhodes, and then with Rey Mysterio. It's like,
yeah,
okay, we're wasting a segment on the New Day when you can fill that time and that void with something else.
Yeah. Well, this is where it's going. So, still waiting for our first match. We have another segment where Seth Rollins is confronted by Drew McIntyre, which now we're starting to see something develop. So, it was an interesting conversation between them. Obviously, both of them having a beef with CM Punk. Both of them having beef with Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins being friends with Jay and Sammy, which Drew and him do not have in common. But the only thing that's in common is that Drew took out Jay and Sammy both. And obviously, Drew taking out Sammy Major at Saturday Night Main Event. Seth also saying that he doesn't kind of know where him and Drew are. But it is setting up for an interesting future possibility of maybe the Shield coming back. Interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. They left that kind of open to, so let's see. Let's get to the first match. Finally, after all of that, I don't even remember. Actually, the way the segment went was kind of bizarre because Ludwig came out kind of before this segment. They wound up going to commercial, coming back to the New Day, coming back with the Seth Rollins, McIntyre thing. And it seemed like almost a half an hour before it was the Intercontinental belt on the line yet again with my man, Braun Breaker. Which I gotta say was very entertaining. Obviously, any Braun Breaker match is my favorite match. The dog was bringing it, but Ludwig surprisingly was very sneaky, very, he was going after that arm, Braun Breakers. And I was a little concerned that Braun was going to lose his title. But Braun, being Braun, he, there's nothing like his spear. I've never seen a spear like his since Goldberg. Him and his 23-mile-per-hour spear off the ropes. What did you think of that match? I thought it was great. It was really
Braun Breaker
entertaining.
is impressive. I mean, Ludwig going out with Tiffany Stratton, we all know the truth on that. I mean, eventually Ludwig is going to get a championship, but how and when, we don't know.
Yeah, I actually thought this was going to be his opportunity. I think that Braun is in store for more. I think that he will become a contender for that heavyweight championship.
I feel like eventually they're going to take it off of him like they did with Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be when, it's going to be like, who's going to challenge Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental? Like, is there going to be more challenges?
Yeah.
Once, like, is there going to be somebody that can actually step up to him and take
the
title?
Well, that's the thing. I think that Ludwig, it was going to be that one sneaky, sinister, which I give it to him. I like Ludwig for that way, that he is a sneaky, sinister kind of personality. And I thought that he was going to manipulate his way into the title. Last night, Braun retaining. So I'm always a fan of that. But I think that Ludwig will keep learning through his experiences. And eventually he will get his opportunity at some points. And I think that, like you said, Braun will wind up losing it somehow.
Like
but also taking the next step and heading towards that heavyweight, because I think with his size, his speed, his wrestling pedigree, that he is in line for something to take on somebody like Gunther, especially with Ludwig and that kind of connection there. So we'll see what happens. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the three-way. What is it? The Intercontinental Champion?
Yeah.
Tournaments. I got two of my favorite stars. I got my favorite ladies wrestler, Zoe Starks, taking on Raquel, taking on Kaden Carter. Really good match. I was really excited by that match. I was really surprised. I like that match. This was match 2 of the night. We did have a slight Rhea and Liv sighting before the match started, with Liv and Dom kissing in the middle of the ring, and Rhea coming out to confront them and basically calling Dom a hoe.
I didn't know that.
It was actually a funny little.
I didn't know that.
But we both said, there was no bloodshed. It was just Rhea getting in the ring and just getting in Liv's face like usual, but nothing really happened. So it was kind of like, what was the purpose of that?
She's coming out with that gothic look.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley. I actually like that.
Yeah. So Zoe Starks pulling out the victory. My girl moving on to the moving on in the next round of the Intercontinental Tournament. And to wrap it up, because of time, we had an excellent third match. That was it. 3 matches of the night. The War Raiders to take on the Judgment Day. Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and an excellent match with a surprise ending that I actually was not, I did not expect. So, my man Eddie is going to fill you in. What did you think of that, Ed?
That was fun to have the Judgment Day and the War Raiders go at it for what is this, the 3rd time they've went after each other? And it's We knew the Judgment Day was going to lose their tag team titles. It was eventually going to have to happen because with all the drama surrounding the Judgment Day, you didn't want the tag team titles to be in the way. And if it wasn't for Damian Priest interfering and trying to stop Finn Balor from trying to use the chair on the War Raiders, because of course that would have caused a disqualification. You had Damian Priest interfere and cost the Judgment Day their World Tag Team Championships to the War Raiders, who obviously won and are the new WWE World Tag Team Champions.
Very interesting. Yes. A big victory for the War Raiders. Now that they're back, they are injury free, especially after Finn and JD trying to take them out, the Judgment Day. Very interesting segment that I kind of didn't talk about was the segment of Liv, Dom, Raquel earlier in the night with JD and Finn. We can see more of these cracks in the Judgment Day happening. There is that little split. Very interesting how there is a confidence in Liv and Dom and Raquel and even Carlito that they're not as bothered by Finn and JD as much as they were. Where Finn was kind of taken back. He didn't know what to do. He's had this power in his hands, but it seems like he's starting to lose it. He's starting to lose the support of the rest of the crew. And now it'll be interesting to see now that they have lost the titles, what will that bring? What kind of relationship, what respect will the rest of the Judgment Day crew have for the former tag team champions who lost? What is this leading up to? What is this?
What is the path?
What is the path of this?
And the direction they're going to take.
Yeah. Will there be a split? Will there be someone going? This is really...
Well, there's been talk about Dom being kicked out, but I don't know if that's going to go down.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. It's like you could see that Dom just didn't even care. Mm-hmm. They all kind of just like, and you know, like, why aren't you guys? And they got banned. And remember, Finn was complaining to them like, why weren't you out there to help me when I was for Saturday night's main event when I was going against Damian and Gunther, and you cost me basically the opportunity, which Finn forgets that he cost Damian the opportunity. Mm-hmm. So I think that you see now there is a big divide in the Judgment Day.
And you see it coming back at you.
Yes. So really interesting. Where are these parts going? What was that about with the confrontation of Rhea coming in before the ladies' three-way match with Raquel against Zoe Starks and Kaden Carter? Excuse me. Damian Priest coming out to cost the Judgment Day their titles.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is the friendship between Damian Priest and Rhea. There was the unconfrontation and kind of a funny segment with Rhea and Liv and Raquel and Dom. So it just seems like there's something brewing there. We're just not seeing yet. So there you go. Friday Night Smackdown, Saturday Night Main Event, Monday Night Raw. Eddie, you have any closing comments to make?
It was a great overall show between Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. It was a somewhat not as impressive Saturday Night's Main Event.
Underwhelming, yes. But we're happy to be back.
Yes, we are.
I was sick for about a week. Missed my man Eddie here. I'm back. I'm excited.
Yes.
We have, like I said, I was kind of disappointed with the Saturday Main Event, but hopefully they make up for that. Last night, some good information, some good matches, some new storyline tidbits to kind of like think about. So that Raw kind of gave us a little bit to think about leading into this week on Friday night's Smackdown. So,
what's this Friday's SmackDown going to bring us?
yeah. So, they're keeping, I'm kind of happy. I was a little disappointed with some of the storylines, but hopefully we're going to see a little more wash in the machine, in the washing machine, see what's going out, see what we got coming out of the washing machine on SmackDown. So, anything else you got to say, Ed?
Nothing much. We pretty much said everything we can say.
Yeah, man. So, thank you all for joining us. Excited to be back. Excited for the next episode next Tuesday.
Yes.
It'll be a Christmas
Eve
edition. And hopefully we have some really exciting, hopefully we have a great Christmas present.
Yes.
And a great SmackDown and a great Raw, and we can bring you some great stuff next Tuesday on the Eddie and the Heel Show.
Christmas Eve edition. And we'll be surprising you with some new gear. Yes.
And it's a surprise because Eddie hasn't seen it yet, even though I accidentally told him about it. So we will see you next Tuesday. Eddie and the Heel.
Yes.
All right.
Have a great day.
Take care, everybody.